These are some videos that I was getting last night from my brother and some of my friends out in LA. This is what the city looks like from their windows and their porches. The earth is burning. So the fire is still burning and spreading, and this is what the sky looks like today. In the same way that we talk about how irresponsible the media is when covering things like a genocide, they are just as irresponsible when it comes to covering things like fires burning down this planet. They are just as guilty and responsible for spreading misinformation about things like a fire that's burning down different parts of the planet as they are with spreading misinformation about things like the genocide in Palestine. The same way that when they talk about Palestine, when they use buzzwords like conflict instead of genocide and apartheid and occupation, they will use words like wind-fueled wildfires to get you to ignore the fact that all of this is man-made. Because when you are under the assumption that something has been created by nature and is wild and is wind-fueled, you can't control it. And when you are under the assumption that you cannot control something, you release yourself of the responsibility to fix it. But we are responsible for this. All of us are responsible for this. Every single fire, every single tsunami, hurricane, earthquake, natural disaster is man-made because humans are absolutely destroying this planet because we have allowed the people that we put in power to quietly do things like this, cutting millions of dollars of budget to firefighters when we're currently living in a time when the earth is excruciatingly hot and dry and fires have increased. And then we allow them to take that money and to put it into places like this, into police forces, so that we have more police states, so we have more militarized states around the country. And because we allow them to take our money and do things like this with it, where we send $8 billion more dollars on top of the already tens of billions that we have sent to the state of Israel in just the last 15 months alone, since October 7th of 2023, to mass murder children and their families and blow craters into this planet. And because we have allowed them to convince us that our current material things aren't good enough for us, so we always need the next best thing, the next updated thing, we allow them to keep doing things like this, to exploit the earth for minerals like this, and it kills the planet and it kills the people on the planet. And we allow things like this, so we get nice shiny new things, and because not enough of us fight them when they install things like this, all of this is going to keep happening because all of it is connected. All of that I mentioned and so much more causes things like this. These are man-made disasters. These are not natural disasters. These are not wild. These are made by us. These are the consequences of us not intervening when they continue to exploit and rape our planet. This planet is a living being. It is a relative. Every piece of it in existence is connected. Everything, every part of this planet is connected to itself. The water, the clean water that I am lucky to have access to, that you are lucky to have access to, is the same body of water that is contaminated and poisoned in Gaza. It's by sheer luck that we get the clean water and they get the contaminated water. The land that we are on, the one that I am looking at right now that looks so beautiful, covered in snow, is the same land that my brother and my friends are watching burn in LA. And it's the same land that my relatives in Palestine are watching being absolutely decimated by bombs. This is something that I am so passionate about and that makes me so emotional and that I feel is so important to teach my children, that even though we are not in Palestine physically, that we are lucky to be living on a piece of land that we can care for, because it's all the same. That when we care for the land where we are here in the United States, it's us caring for our land in Palestine that's waiting for us because we belong there. That while Palestine is the land that our people were placed on to steward, to care for, that we are still lucky that we have land that we can care for until we one day hopefully get to return it to the people who are meant to care for it here. But it's all the same. All of us who are lucky enough to not be living through genocide, to not be living through land exploitation, to not be living through apartheid and occupation, we are lucky that we got the limb of the planet that isn't experiencing those things. And what we do everywhere on the planet, in places like Palestine, in Sudan, in the Congo, and everywhere else that we are allowing to be exploited for the benefit of colonialism and capitalism, it matters because it is the same land. All of that causes the fires, the hurricanes, the earthquakes that we feel here. And until we can all collectively get back to the reality that we are guests, we are visitors on a living being that we are meant to care for and to protect, we will see more of the earth burning. We will see more of it underwater. We will see more people displaced. We will see more animals dying, losing their habitats. And the more we normalize this and the more that we detach ourselves from the responsibility that we should all be acknowledging of us being the cause of things like this happening, the faster all of this will destroy the planet. All we're doing is speeding up the timeline for you and me to be the next in line, to be evacuated, to be displaced, to lose our home, to lose our loved ones, to lose our own lives to these disasters, these man-made disasters. This is our responsibility. What else is the point of being here? What else is the point of being on this planet?